see there's a red dot there now.
Yeah.
Record. Sometimes it shuts itself off after a period of time of because it thinks it's nothing's happening, and just to save the battery, it'll shut itself off. But if it happens, we'll just switch that back on.
So I switch it off for now.
Right, no, you might as well leave it running
Leave
now.
it on, yeah.
Right, so first things first. Obviously, you said you're going to be a member of the the Caravan Club. When you get to site, they tend to tell you go find your site, what pitch you want to set up on. So you tend to go on to find your pitch, get your caravan all set up, and then you usually go back to them and say, I'm on pitch 53 or whatever it is. Okay, so when you find your pitch, you decide which pitch you want. There are different types of pitch. Obviously, there's hard standing pitch, if you're aware of. There's hard standing pitch, which is usually a gravelly pitch, which you'll see when you go up on the roof to stay. Yeah. Or you obviously have a grass pitch. Grass pitch can be quite uneven. Obviously, it has grass. Grass is obviously natural surface. Or the hard standing tend to be levelish side to side, but they can be sloping. But they can be sloping always. But have a look before you put the caravan on. Have a look, just see how straight it is, because you are going to need to level the caravan at some stage. Normally that's one of the first things you do. So what you do is either reverse it on, if you're confident enough to do that, reverse it on, or obviously disconnect the caravan from the car and use your motor mover to get onto the pitch. Okay? So the first thing you're looking at is levelling. So what you're looking at is how level is it side to side. Okay, so what affects that is obviously how high the wheel is on one side or the other.
Yeah.
So to correct, say it was leaning in that way, to the right as we're looking at it, you'd have to lift this wheel up. And the way to do that is either levelling box, or you can get these plastic ramps you can drive it up onto. You can use your motor mover to do that, or obviously if it's still attached to the car, you can use the car to pull it up that ramp, or push it up that ramp. Okay? Right. So spirit level is obviously very important to see how level you actually are. The reasons why we level it, one, obviously drainage. Obviously drainage is obviously important, otherwise if you had a sink, and you're leaning one way, the plug hole's up here and it's leaning that way, obviously the water's just going to sit there and not go down the plug hole. Okay? The other thing is the fridge doesn't like being on a funny angle. When it's operating on gas, it tends to shut it down. Also, you'll find when you're lying in bed, you end up rolling to one side or the other if you're on a bit of a slope. Okay? So we've levelled it side to side now. It may not need levelling, because if you're on a hard standing, a lot of them tend to be quite level side to side anyway.
When you say spirit level, where would you put the level?
I tend to put it through the door, because I know he's going to be on the floor there. I know that's going to be level there, because it's a flat surface.
One about that long? So.
No, you can have them, a little small one. You can buy them plastic one by pence. Yeah. As long as you've got some kind of spirit level, it gives you an idea. Right. As long as it's on a flat surface, then you know it's pretty close. Okay. Yeah. So once you've got it level side to side, if you do need to level it, you need to level it front to back then. Okay. The way we do that is using the jockey wheel. So if you've had the car attached to get it onto the pitch, obviously you need to get the car out of the way before you do that. So it's just a matter of lifting your stabiliser up, obviously handbrake on before you take it off the car. Always put the handbrake on, because if you on a slope you wind it up, it could be off. Okay, so handbrake on first, lift your stabiliser hitch. Obviously this is more important to show you when you get attached to the car, so when you come back to pick it up, you're not going to be here when you pick it up, are you? That's going to be a bit tricky. You really need to see onto a vehicle how to take it on and off. You've got a friend who's going to pick it up for you.
It's the guy from the storage place, Teague's Farm.
Oh yeah.
He's going to pick it up. I guess. I mean, he's doing it all the time. He probably he'd take me through that.
Yeah, he could do. Yeah, if he's obviously he's a competent tower, he should be able to show you how to go through all that anyway. Yeah. But to get it off, what we do is pull the handbrake on, stabilise the hitch up. So it's just a matter of that. Yeah. Then all you do is loosen. What I always do: loosen the jockey wheel first, then loosen that and drop the wheel to the floor. Tighten it up. Then you start winding it up on the jockey wheel. Lift that handle there, and as you're winding it up, that takes it up off the tow ball. Okay. Then obviously breakaway cable. Unconnect that before you move, and obviously your cable, which is your electrics. Right. Okay. So that's all attached to the car. Make sure they're all disconnected before you start driving off. Otherwise, you'll hear a bang. There's something that hits the back of the car as it's stretched and tries to follow you. Okay, so once you've got that off the car, then you can level it front to back. Use the jockey wheel, so you just wind it up or down until you get the front to back level. So again, using your spirit level, you can see how level it is front to back. Okay? Yeah. Once you've done that, then you need to level it. Obviously, first thing Saturday morning, my brain's not quite right. What you need to do then is put the legs down. Okay, so you've levelled it, you need to put the steadies down after that. The legs are not there for lifting it. They're not a jacking system. All they're there is to steady it. So when you get in, it's not doing all of this. It's not doing a rocking motion. Just while my drill, what you've got is actually a handle.
Zooming in on what he's actually.
Yes.
Right, what we tend to use, or I tend to use because I've got a van as well, you've got this fitting here. If you've got a cordless drill,
Yeah, I've got the
it
same
makes
one.
it makes it so much easier. All you do, someone's wound that up tight. I'll have to go and get a I'll have to get a winding handle then. Let's see if I've got one in your foot locker. No. Right, so something like that you will have. Just wind it down. Obviously that takes quite a while by hand,
Yeah.
especially if it's raining. So all you do, get it until it touches the ground. Okay, go around, do all four. So there's one either side and two at the back. What I tend to do is then just check how tight it is by grabbing the handle. You see that's still got a bit of movement.
Yeah.
So just another tweak, another half a turn tweak on each one. And then once it's steady, that's it.
Right.
Okay? As I say, it's not there to jack it up, so even if you've got a puncher, do not use that to jack it up, because it will twist the chassis if you're not careful. I'm just going to wire this up, just for ease of use for me. So make sure you get at least one leg down at the back before you get in, because otherwise it could end up seesaw, and you end up looking at the sky by standing in the back of it.
Right.
Okay?
So is that?
I'll get you one. I'll get you one of them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
one out the back
okay.
at the moment. But yeah, it may be under the seat, but I didn't notice when I set it up. Okay. All right. So the next thing you may want to start setting up, obviously, is your water system. So in the box at the front there, you will have an Acrol similar to this. Obviously, this is mine. This is your pump. So all you do is go and fill your Acrol up. So there'll be a tap on site. So that will wheel like a wheel, Acrol as it is. It rolls. Go and fill that up, obviously bring it back, put the pump in. So you drop, that's your pump there, so you put the pump into the water like that. Push that into the wall. If you can see that there, the lid is actually holding it, is actually locking it in.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
So don't try and pull that out without lifting that up, otherwise this will come off with it.
Okay.
It'll be broken. So that's your water connected. You will also have your wastewater, so the wastewater container will sit, you'll have it sitting alongside. You'll see there's, just have a look. There's what's called a waste pipe. And you have a look next to it. Right, that's your waste pipe. So they plug into the side where my bucket is, and that one there will go into the waste master, which is that there. Okay, so you just lie it alongside the van. It is shaped so you could slide it under the van if you wanted to, but if you can see that, it's the thin end is where the handle is. So the thin end of the handle is going to be shoved underneath the van.
Right.
When that is full, that's 38 litres. Which is 38 kilos. You trying to drag it back out again from underneath the van is going to be a bit tricky. Okay. So, what I tend to do, which most people do, is just lie it alongside it, same as Acrol. So you just lie it alongside the wheel there, and then obviously the water will drain. That's draining from your kitchen sink, your bathroom sink, and your shower. Okay.
Just have a look. Just see if you can get it.
Yeah. So then pipes they just push in. They just push into that.
Yeah.
Them two holes there.
Okay
right.
then. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what you will find is when you're operating the water system and the Acrols run dry, you obviously need to go and fill it back up again. Just check your waste master, because the wastewater, if water's gone in there, they're likely to just come back out and come out through there. So you're going to need to empty that. If you're going to fill that up again, you will probably need to go and empty that as well.
So that waste master takes the same amount as a roll does.
Not quite, no. That is 40 litres. That is 2 litres less.
Right.
38, sorry.
You need to keep an eye on that.
Yeah,
then.
so keep an eye on it. Normally, once you've emptied that, you can guarantee that will be full.
Yeah.
Alright. Noise the tractor going past. The next thing you want to connect is your gas.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
How long will that water last, roughly? A weekend
How
or?
much do you use?
It all depends on what you use. If you use the onboard shower, the shower will use a lot of water. It all depends on how. If you use a shower exactly the same as you would use it at home, so you just switch it on and stand there for 10 minutes, you probably won't be standing there for 10 minutes because the water will run out.
Right.
Okay, it does. 40 litres is not a lot
So
of
I
water.
need that other one
If-
when I'm in there.
Yeah, if you, what you could do, if you do, the best thing if you are using a shower on board is have a direct feed from the bollard on site. If you go onto the super pitches, like ours up there, you can connect a pipe direct from there to your Akerol, which is have a ball clock type fitting, so it'll top it up as it needs it. So
Right.
you could have a shower. The only thing that you get then you're limited on is how much hot water you've got. There's only a 10 litre hot water tank in this. So again, you can't have it flat out, constant, because it'll just use hot water up in seconds, 2 minutes probably, something like that if you've got it flat out.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah,
So
obviously,
10 minutes, roughly.
if
yeah.
you have the shower flat out, 10 minutes, you probably that's it. That's all you
I'd
want.
probably manage that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you use the site facilities, which are usually pretty good anyway. The site facilities here are really good. Most caravan club sites are really good as well. So it's up to you. If you've got a shower on board, a lot of people do use facilities. They're a lot better because you've got more or less limitless amount of hot water on
I
them.
suppose the other thing, if you're having a shower, you soap up and then rinse off. You don't keep it running.
Yeah, so
all
on,
the
off,
time.
on, off. That's,
Yeah.
that's the easiest way of doing it.
Yeah.
Or that's the easiest way
Just
of...
trial and error, I guess. It's, yeah.
It is, yeah, but you are, again, limited with the amount of water you've got and how much hot water you've got. Okay, so next thing we would want to switch on is your gas. So the gas locker. So if you've operated gas before, so the propane has got a tap on top of it. So you just open that up. Okay?
Yeah.
Always close it for travelling. But obviously when you get to site you will need to connect that. The connection, so obviously when your gas runs out you're going to need to change it. What you do is undo this nut here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that disconnects it. It is a opposite thread. So if you've heard that the saying righty tighty, lefty loosey on bolts, it is not. It is righty loosey, lefty tighty. So if you can remember that. So it's an opposite thread. So if
It's a left-hand thread.
exactly, yeah. That's it. In easy words, yes. Okay, so that's where you would disconnect and connect on your gas.
Okay.
Okay, and it will require a spanner to do that as well.
Yeah.
So you can either get a large enough adjustable, or you can get these small gas spanners, which are probably easier to operate in that small space. Okay, what you've also got, this is your regulator here. If you ever operated gas before, you probably have seen the regulator on the actual connection to the cylinder. These on caravans or leisure vehicles now, they have the regulator attached to the caravan.
Okay.
So you can use butane or propane, so you can use the red or the blue bottles. But if you decide to use the blue ones, you need a different pigtail, which is that, because it have a different connection on the end.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's the on-off.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that as an on-off. What I tend to use, that's there for the engineers to do gas
Right,
checks.
okay.
But you could use, what I tend to use that as an on-off is if I'm changing cylinders. Obviously, I'll switch that off. It just keeps the pressure in the system as I'm changing cylinder, and obviously screw the new one back
Yeah,
on, and that'll
otherwise
just hold
it
the
vents
pressure.
back
Yeah,
from
you
the-
obviously you lose a bit of pressure in the system. You have to
Okay.
bleed that through again.
So there's another cylinder sits there then?
Yeah, you can have a spare cylinder alongside if you want. It's up to you if you want to have two alongside. Cala is really easy to pick up anywhere. Garages, shops, they're everywhere, Cala gas. Obviously the worst thing is you're halfway through cooking something and then the
I was
gas
just
runs
thinking
out. Yeah, on sites tend to usually have them as well. But obviously if it's something like 8 o'clock at night, then they're not going to be too happy. You're going to have to go run to the nearest garage or something like that to get one. Halfway through cooking your dinner or whatever, it's probably not good out. So you can have another on board, but obviously you've got to just remember on weight. The other thing is, it all depends on what sites you're going on. Obviously caravan club sites, you've got electric connected, so a lot of their systems like your fridge and your your fridge and your heating can run on electric. Obviously, if you haven't got electric, it then runs on gas. Gas will not last too long if you've got no electric because you're using everything
Yeah.
on gas. Okay, so if it was, say it was winter and you got no electric, probably once gas and they probably last a day if it's flat out.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Otherwise, if you're using electric all the time, it might last. My gas, I tend to last the whole season, depending on how many times you go away, obviously. But I'll go away, say 6 times in a year, and that one gas cylinder will last me all year.
Right.
So it all depends on what you're using, how you're using it.
Yeah. And you
So
can't take two at the same time.
You can if you want to, yeah.
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 Just to be
Obviously, that's
sure.
it's designed
If
to
you're going
hold
away
two.
for a week,
Yeah.
maybe you might
Yeah,
want to. Yeah.
possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. The next fun bit, I'll just get the key.
It's exciting. We need to give ourselves plenty of time when we get to a site. All this.
Right, next fun bit is your toilet. So before you use a toilet, obviously what you're going to need to do is, what you've got is a flush tank. So the water system from here doesn't flush your toilet. It's got its own reservoir, which you put a pink chemical in, which you've got at the front there. So you put a small amount of pink chemical in, top it up with water. that will flush. That's there to flush the toilet. Okay. So the pink chemical is there to obviously make it smell nice.
Yeah.
Obviously it helps to clean the toilet as well.
Yeah.
The only time you know when your tank's full is when you can see the level through there. The only time you know it's empty is when you're flushing it, there's nothing coming out.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So as simple as that.
Yeah.
Do not travel with it full, because the likelihood it may overflow into the van itself. So you don't want pink chemicals sloshing around on the floor or staining the carpet, obviously.
Yeah.
But you can travel with some in there. Okay? So obviously when you're travelling to wherever you're travelling to, obviously this is not the easiest thing to find to park. Obviously you can just pull into a lay-by. You can use the toilet on board if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
So that's quite handy. You can just pull into lay-bys anywhere and use that if you
Oh,
if
that's
you're
a good
struggling
point.
to find a parking space to go to stop.
Yeah.
And you can still flush it.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a part.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got
And
12.
that chemical, when it's full, what's the? This is the filling point.
Yes, that's your filling point. Yeah.
And is there something that? How do you fill it? What would you fill it with?
Oh yeah. A lot of people have watering cans to top it up with water. To fill it with water. I just use a 2 litre water bottle myself, and just use one of them. You take water bottles with us anyway, and just use a water bottle to top it up. So it's up to you. You can have these small watering cans that a lot of people carry around.
Yeah.
Most people carry water bottles with them anyway, so just use something like that if you wanted to. It's up to you, obviously.
Yeah.
Right, next fun bit is the toilet. So this is where the waste is going. I just want myself. This is where the waste is going. Okay. Right, to release that, just lift that orange lever there, and it should slide out easy. If it's not sliding out easy, the likelihood is that the waste gate on the toilet has not been closed correctly, which I'll show you when we get inside. So just push it back in. Go and have a look. Just check, just make sure it's definitely closed. Then it should just slide out easy. Okay. What you've got, wheels and a handle, obviously to make it easier to go and transport it to where you're going to empty it. Do not empty it down an ordinary drain. What you're going to put in here is a blue chemical for use, which helps to break down the nasty stuff. Okay. So what you do is, you've got this here. So you've got a measuring jug. Put your blue chemical here, tip that in, and around about a pint of water, and tip that in as well. So that's ready to use then. Okay. When you go to empty it, obviously it's coming out that hole there. So you go. What you'll have on site, you'll see, or they'll tell you a chemical emptying point. So some can be outside, some can be indoors. They will let you know. There's usually a sign there to say where to empty it. What you'll find is normally a big white funnel with a big hole in the middle of it, and obviously you just tip that down. Just be careful where you place that. Do not put that on. Normally it's a brick wall around the edge. Do not put that on there, because if you knock that down the hole, you're not going to be sticking around down there to go and fish that out. You probably won't be able to see it anyway. So put it on the floor behind you. Otherwise, you don't particularly want to be losing that.
Okay.
Okay. To clean it, all I tend to do is just put water in and just slosh it down. You can get different chemicals as well to clean it if you want to. I just put water in, slosh it around, and then just drain it out.
Right.
Okay. What you have also got, which I didn't explain, so when you're emptying, you've got an air release button. That allows it to flow out easier, and you've also got access there for cleaning as well. Okay.
Right.
So that just slides in. That's it, ready to use. Obviously, once you've got your blue chemical in. We've also got here, which I'll show you. Obviously, this is not something you do on the setup, but for draining down your flush tank, obviously it's important in the winter to make sure that is drained down. It's the same with the rest of the water system as well. But this just drains down your flush tank. The best thing to do is just flush it. Flush it into your waste tank, obviously dispose of it. Just drain the last little bit through that. Okay? Easy as that, or not.
Or not. That's a lot to take in.
Once you get used to it,
Once you start doing things, it seems a
Because
lot when
it
you're...
takes me around about half an hour to get from getting to site, setting up, just this, not the awning, just this, half an hour-ish.
Yeah.
Which once you get used to it, it's
like
quite
anything,
easy.
I guess.
A routine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
What it tends to do, my wife tends to go inside, I'm on the outside doing things, and
Yeah.
she's in the inside doing things, and normally by the time we get in, after half an hour, the kettle's on, or something else a bit stronger, depending on how much of a fun journey you've had. Right, so legs at the back, so there's your steadies at the back. The winding point is there, look, you see that there? So that's the winding point for the back.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Okay, down this side. You see the caravans are powered through 12 volt systems, so that's why we've got a 12 volt battery on there. So the caravan will work without electric connected, okay? But you will be operating most things on gas, but the 12 volts are in the background igniting things, what needs to do, okay? 240 obviously is a better option if you've got that. Most 99.9% of caravan clubs will have electric connection. So to connect it, so all you do is lift that up, push that fully on, Just pull that, just guide that into that groove there. Just holding it shut. Then normally you would just lock that up there. Okay, so when you're on site, okay, what you do is connect to there first, unravel the cable totally, and then attach it to the bollard on site. Don't do it the other way round, because if you put it into the bollard first, you've got a live cable, you're walking across wet grass. It's not going to be good. Okay?
Right.
Alright? So connect to here first, and lock that up. Then go and connect to your bollard.
You still need an acro roll, don't you? We have got the
You're thinking of a question.
Yeah.
I know, that's a bit of a problem at the moment. You happy with that, yeah?
Yeah.
So just a hose pipe into there.
So,
You've got a lift
what's that there?
Yeah, that's to the motor. I'll explain that after, because obviously we've got too much going on around us. And we'll do that after anyway, because I'll do motor because we can't move it because we've got a lot of stuff connected. Alright. Okay. So that's it. Once you've done that outside, you can go inside then. So that's what we'll do. Right. Okay, so when we come in, the first thing we want to do is switch the 12-volt systems on, because as I said, the caravan works on 12-volt systems. So we've got a control panel here by the door, which is going to be interesting to try and explain because he's waffling on ideas as well. Right, as it says, master switch. So that switches 12-volt systems on. Okay, so when you're using the van, that is always switched on. Okay, so when if you're going for a week, once you switch that on, you don't need to switch it back off again when you're going out, you just leave it switched on.
Yeah.
Warning light, so that's your light outside your door. This here is your control panel. So this controls the heating system and the water pump. Okay? So don't switch the water pump on straight away when you get in the van. I'll explain that in a second. Let's see what we'll do. We'll just go inside first and I'll show you all the things where he's talking, because he's just going to be too distracting. We just go that way. Yeah. That's the problem with having two side by side. Right, so...
Tell him to go away,
yeah, we're here first, yeah. Right. I've got to say the radio is good. So obviously radio. So first thing you do when we get in is set your water system up. Okay? So in the bathroom, the boiler is sitting quite nicely inside the wardrobe. And it's got a drain down valve. Okay? Not very good me sitting on the toilet, but right. You see the yellow lever down there? You see that yellow, looks like a duck's head or whatever you want to call it?
It's gone dark, this camera now.
You can't see anything?
No.
I don't know if you zoomed in. You may have. There we go. That's it. If you zoom in... Oh, I thought I pushed it. Right, see that yellow lever there?
Yeah.
At the moment it's pointing that way. See, it's
yeah.
That is closed. So that is your water drain closed.
Yeah.
Okay? If I tipped it up, so it's pointing upwards, so you just turn it.
Yeah.
That's opening the valve which drains the boiler down. Okay?
Right.
So before we get the water switched on, we need to make sure that's in that position. Otherwise, all the water from the acroll is just going to go straight down that valve, straight onto the floor underneath us, onto the ground, and then you're just wasting the whole acroll, so you do need to go and fill it up again.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we start, is make sure that's in that position. Okay?
Yeah.
Make sure all the taps are closed. Okay? So make sure all the taps are closed, and you see where this could go. Make sure it's in the correct position, yeah? Same with the shower, because you can imagine you've left that shower on and I switch that pump on, the water's just going to go everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah? Same with the kitchen. Make sure the kitchen is exactly the same, so... come back to there. So again, as you can see where that tap will go. And if it's in the wrong place and you've left that open, you switch that water pump on, water's going to come straight out all over the place.
Okay.
So over the top, shut. Then what we can do is switch the water pump on. So just be around the corner. If you can see that, that's the problem with them being here. Right, you can see this bottom left corner.
Yeah.
That's gone red now. That's to say it's on. That's the water pump on. Okay.
Okay.
What we need to do now, obviously I have primed all the systems up already. So if you come back in again, we need to get the water into the system. If you drained it down previously, obviously all the pipe work and the tank is going to be empty. It's going to be just full of air. That air is going to be purged out of the system, which is going to come out of that tap. Okay? Or to start with anyway. So if you can see on the top there's an icon there, cold and hot. So open it up on the cold side first. So you'll have a lot of spluttering. The air's got to come out that tap. Okay?
Yeah.
Once you've got a more solid stream like that, then you know you've got the air out the system up to that point. What we need to do, obviously if you've drained the tank, which is that yellow lever, if you drain that tank, obviously we need to fill that. So start on the hot, then go across to the hot side, open it up on the hot side. what we've got there now is, obviously I've primed it already, so there won't be too much spluttering. We're trying to fill the hot water tank now and get the air out of that system. So the hot water tank is roughly 10 litres, as I said outside, roughly 10 litres of water container. Obviously when it's empty, it's 10 litres of air. 10 litres of air has got to come out that tap.
Right.
Okay, so you open it up, get all that air out, so it'll just splutter for probably a couple of minutes at least. Once you get a solid stream like that, then you know your hot water tank's full. Okay? Right.
Okay.
Happy with that? Then you just do the same with each tap. So once you've done the kitchen one, do your shower and do the sink in the bathroom.
And go for your Aqua well.
Yeah, then what you'll find, obviously the Aqua is about 40 litres, that's about 10 litres. There's probably another 10 litres in the rest of the system, as in the pipe work. So it probably half empty, I would think. So you may want to go and top it up, or you might just wait until you've got the rest of it done. Or if it's pouring down with rain, you just want to get in here and get the kettle on or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
So that's your water system up and running. Okay. So you happy with that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Right.
I think so.
Yeah. So what we may want to do then, probably it's easier if I step outside now to be able to show this, so you can see it. Right. So this is your, as I said, heating system now as well, control. So you can see that there, what looks like a bus.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh, excuse me. My throat just went a bit dry. So what you've got
one,
there,
yeah.
so that's your heating.
Yeah.
You can see it's got 20 degrees on it. That's what I've set. So if I click on that now, oh no, it's not what I set. It's what the temperature of the room is, I should say.
So you can
right.
just set it to
So at
what
the moment it's off. You can set it to 3 different settings on electric. So if you imagine that similar to like a free bar fire, yeah. So obviously 500 is the lowest energy, 1000, 2000 obviously the higher energy. Okay. And what you can do, so if I can get that to switch on, right. So that's now on 2000 watts. This is your temperature control for your thermostat. So obviously you press it. You can hear there's nothing happening at the moment, unless I get the temperature. I ask for a temperature higher. I'm just trying to think where this goes up to now. It's about 30. There we go. So if you're asking for a higher temperature than what the room temperature is, then the fan will increase to obviously bring the heat into the room. Once it reaches that temperature, the fan will die down and obviously shut off until someone like myself leaves the door wide open. Temperature drops. Then the heating will kick back in again. So it's thermostatically controlled, so it will only come on when it needs to. Okay? Obviously, as long as you switch it on. So if I bring the temperature down now to, you can hear that just reducing it.
Yeah.
Okay? You can run it on gas on its own as well, or you can run it on gas and electric. The reasons why you might want to use an option of both is that you imagine 2000 watts. 2000 watts is not a huge amount of energy. Okay? At home, your kettle that's probably about 2 kilowatt, 2000 watts. It's trying to heat up 2 litres of water. It's not really trying to heat the kitchen as well, is it? So 2000 watts, it'll give you some heat. Obviously, obviously it's a lot colder outside, and when you first turn up, it's pretty cold inside as well. It might take a while for 2000 watts to give you enough heat. What you can do is put it onto an option of gas and electric. Obviously, that's more energy. It's going to heat up a lot quicker. Obviously, you're going to use a little bit of gas, but you're using electric alongside it. Then once you reach heat, what you can do if you wanted to is just drop it down back onto the electric on its own, or leave it on that. It's up to you. Obviously it'll cut in and out when it needs to.
When we say electric, that's only if you've got a hookup
yes,
point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got no electric, as I said outside, everything's going to be running on gas. So all you could do is run it on gas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the fan icon is
so you can actually run just a circulation fan in the summer. You don't want any heat; it'll just circulate air.
right.
So it won't cool any air down, but it'll just circulate the air that's in your van to push air around. Okay. You've also got a thermostat one as well. So if you're going to use that or not, I don't know, but you're probably just better to set it to a temperature, and then it'll keep that temperature rather than letting it drop as cold as frost temperature. Then while you're using it, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when it's in storage, you're not going to be putting it on thermostat anyway. Okay. Okay with that? Yeah. Otherwise it's off. If I press that one, it brings us back to the main screen. So this one is showing blank. Well, I should have shown you as. Oh, that one. If I just put energy on, see that now it's turned red because that's showing the heating switched on. Okay. So if I go back into that, switch it off, the icon goes blue. So that shows there's nothing happening on that. Next one is water heating. So all off at the moment. So your normal running is 750 watt. Again, that's not a huge amount of energy. It'll take a little while for it to warm up. Okay, so once it's warm, it'll tick over quite nicely on that. If you say you wanted to use the shower on board, you may want to have a boost. So So you can have it again, electric and gas if you wanted to, and it will do a timing of around about 15 minutes. So if you're are going to